Yo, we're going to start it off like this. And I quote Pat Hanlon. I'm angry about a lot of things, but I could give a beep about the proclamation at the end of the turnpike. You heard?
1, 1, 2. Check me out right here, yo. In the commission, you ask for permission to hit him. He don't like me, hit him while wifey was with him. You heard of us, the murderous, most shady. Been on the low lately, the feds hate me. Opposition, competition of the day in the life of the commission. Yeah.
Mic check. What's kicking, family? This is Mr. Batch of the BBC, the Big Blue Commission, the G-Man. That's right, it's a football Friday, and you heard how I started out. That was a tweet from Pat Hanlon, the director of PR or communications for the Giants, and he's been tweeting up a storm. I'll get into his tweets and probably as tweets go on for this season, because we're in a new era, and tweeting, trash talking has now gone out there. It's all over the place, and I like what Pat Hanlon has been doing, talking about Big Blue, the G-Man, and their moves, and standing up for them. First, let me say, there's no panic on my behalf. Understandably so, the loss of players, and it's stated here in the Daily News. I had to go out and get my paper this morning, the alarm clock goes off and the radio starts blasting the Giants and Jerry Reese saying that, so we didn't make the sexy moves, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to get into that as we move along. Now, Sean O'Hara, cut. Seibert, cut. Cofield, signed with the Redskins. Boss, signed with the Raiders. Steve Smith, signed with the Dream Team. Deion Grant, unsigned. Blackburn, unsigned. Bullock, unsigned. Sean Andrews, cut. Madison Hedgecott, cut. Derek Hagan, signed with the Eagles. Now, those are some of the ball players that we've lost or have not signed. And in the article, there's an article by Gary Myers. He's blasting the Giants about, they didn't make any moves. Reese is guaranteeing the playoffs, this, that, and the other. And he points out that Boss, Smith, Tyree, and Burris are all ex-Giants now, and they were the ones who were the catalyst who helped us win the Super Bowl. Yes, they did. They're not in camp now. Understandably so. I would have liked Burris to come back. 6'5", head and shoulders taller than the tallest defensive back in the league. If you was to throw it up to him, it would be more like a post-up move. He doesn't have to streak down. You just put it up there and let him climb the ladder and get it. But that's the way I look at it. I think that he would be able to be successful due to the fact of his height. He wouldn't get that beat up that much. But that's just an outside observation looking back from here from a person who spent 20 months in jail, but what his physical attributes would lend to on the football field. Tyree, as you know, that's the end of his career. He had a knee problem. He tried to come back, and that was it. Smith went down the turnpike and signed with the Dream Team. Boss went and signed with the Raiders. Now, a lot has been said about, if you get your ball play inside your camp, you hammer away at the negotiation. We all know that Smith wanted to test the free agent market when it came time at the end of his contract. And it was his option, to go see another. I don't know about the thing about Coughlin saying, we wondered if he was going to give us the opportunity. Bottom line, it's about the money. In my opinion, he could have went down there and they said, look, Tyree, we're going to give you $4 million right now. We're going to give you $4 million right now. You walk out that door, you won't see that $4 million. So right then and there, he wanted to test the market. That's what they brought to him. Guess what? It's about the money. Also, on top of that, I was listening to the ESPN this morning. Chris Carter was on, and he was talking about the Michael Vick experience. Mike, this was on Mike and Mona on ESPN. He had asked Chris Carter, why are they going? And he had explained the Michael Vick experience. Understand this, a lot of these guys, and it's true, a lot of these guys coming up, playing a lot of video games, we use Mike Vick. Now that they're old enough to be in the pros, they say, yo, I'm going to go play with Vick. You can't blame him. That's what the guy wants to do. It just so happens that it's an opportunity. That's one angle of, people signing over there in Philly. And I'm talking about Smith going to Philly. Other than that, I wouldn't be talking about that because we lost somebody that went there. And those are a couple of factors that could have factored in for Smith going to Philly. First of all, it was the money. Second of all, it was the Michael Vick experience. Okay, what can you do? You do the negotiations, and if it doesn't work out and they go someplace else, guess what? The media is all over you for not like, wow, you should have did this. Now and there's something about the Giants being a salary cap hell. You know what? I got to look into the numbers and see what's going on. There are teams out there that are loading up. Maybe they've got the cap room. I'm not looking at their cap room or anything. I have to look at the cap space for the Giants now and take a look at that. The ball players we lost them. We've got ball players in camp that I feel that can step up. They have to step up. We would have been in the playoffs last year if it wasn't for a punt that didn't go out of bounds, if it wasn't for a few defensive plays that stopped. Because think about it. Vick got sacked 31 times last year. That's a high number. You can get him. You can get him. You can get him. Got defensive tackles, defensive linemen that are quick, hungry. Got one coming back that's going to be pissed. But I'm not here beating up on Reese or Coughlin or anything. It's a business. It's a negotiation type thing. What you want them to do, they're not the type of franchise to throw around a lot of money. They're not like the Redskins or a team like that will just throw money at ball players. Like Reese said, they have a formula. I had said in the previous one that they have a plan. They have a plan. So Smith signed. All right. We'll look at Manningham and Hickson. 2,000 yards, 20 touchdowns between them last year. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that. Now, moving right along with the O.C. Ura saga, I'm reading in the paper that his knee is okay. You got to come into camp now. If you try and hold out, it's $30,000 a day. They've got incentives on there. They've got incentives for you in your contract to go on top of the $3.125 million that you're going to make this year. Hello, they've got incentives in there, and you can. I don't know how much it would bump it up to, but my guess is it might bump it up to about $5 million, $6 million. I know he's probably looking for $10 million. I think he should get more money, but he should have held out a minute ago, like Carter said, at the end of the Super Bowl, and then got your money. He's also situational. He doesn't play every down. There's a lot of things going on in here, and you want big money. Come in here and gobble people up and then get big money. You either want to be traded or whatever. And he's also put the option on the table of void the last year so he can be a free agent, which means that he would be playing for a contract. Granted that the Giants would not get anything in return if they were to make him a free agent at this point. Make him a free agent at the end of the season and void that last contract. You never know. It might turn out to be in our favor if we let him do that. That means he would be playing like a man possessed. Now everybody's all over Eli. Yo, leave Eli alone. Eli is that all shucks kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, gee, well, you know, he's not the rah-rah type of dude, you know, out there. He's not like that. But we have been consistent. What did he do? He threw for over 4,000 yards last year? Come on now, fam. Come on now, family. Come on, family. How many QBs do that? So I guess he's a fluke. He sucks. This, that, and the other. Ray. But he threw for over 4,000. Don't get it. But getting back to, sorry for digressing. Getting back to OC. OC will be back in camp. He could play all the games he wants. He just doesn't want to practice. Okay, figure out a way to get him to practice, you know, limited time so his engine will be high rev when he gets out there. Now, let me close out with Pat Hanlon, the director of communications and whatever. Hold on. What let me get his title. All right. Let me see. Pat Hanlon, Twitter. All right. Spokesman. He is the president of communications. Pat Hanlon is the president of communications. I've watched him on the TV show. Love him. Love his unabashed passion and everything like that. So, yo, his tweets. You got to get today's daily news and see what his tweets were, because what I opened with was the #1 tweet that he had the other day ever since Smith went down the turnpike. So, oh man, what can I say? Yes, this is what I can say. Tweeting now has gotten to a new level. Now, ball players are starting to tweet during a game. Like last year, I believe it was the game with the Bears, and there was Maurice Jones-Drew, I think. I could be mistaken. Somebody correct me. He said during the game, I believe he was able to get to a machine and tweet that my man had given up, stopped playing. You know. And then there's been other tweets by athletes where it didn't make too many sense. I'll have to pull some of those out in a future video posting. But getting back to Pat Hanlon and tweeting and his defense of the Giants is, yo, I'm with you 100%. And when I get online after posting this, I'm going to look for Pat Hanlon's handle over here on Twitter, and I'm going to sign up to make sure I stay in the loop with his tweets. And this is Mr. Batch of the BBC. There's no panic in me for this season coming up. We're a solid organization, and we're going to get it done. And Jerry Reese is right. We are going to make the playoffs. This is Mr. Batch of the BBC.